Hi everybody, this is Maureen Wong with mycasestudies.blogspot.com, and today I wanted to share with you what I've been working on lately, and that is these laminated, it's not just one thing, it's a bunch of different things, so I'm just going to say laminated projects. What they can be used for is a number of different things. You can see this one kind of looks like a bookmark. And then I have these little boxes, which is a really fun way to reuse pretty packaging that some of our stuff comes in. These were actually boxes that my Simply Gilded washi came in. And then a lot of companies, like sticker companies, washi companies, different kind of planner companies, have been including these journaling cards in their orders for free, which is wow, really nice. But I wanted to spice it up just a little bit, and so what I did was I actually put this glitter paper on the back and laminated this card. I actually cut it down a little bit on the side so it would fit in my personal size planner. And this is another one where I used the boxes that the washi came in, and I used it for a washi sample card for whether you're on the go or if you just want to have something right at your table and you don't want to have a pile of washi rolls. And you can see I did that silver glitter paper on the back, and isn't that just so pretty? Okay, and then another thing I've been working on are these little laminated business cards, again from Simply Gilded, and these I meant to use as washi samplers for either taking on the go or giving away to friends or what have you. And these are really handy. They're a nice small size. You can fit a number of samples on them, but you can easily slip them into your planner. And it's a great way to reuse something that maybe otherwise you might throw away, although it's so pretty, how could we throw it away? But you know, once you get like 100 orders and you have all these business cards, what are you going to do with them? So you can see on the back I actually did two different things with the same cards. This one I just covered with the glitter paper, and it's a see-through silver glitter, so you can actually see the design that was on the back of the business card. And then in case you don't want to see the design that was on the back, then I actually covered this one with white sticker paper first to cover up that back design, and then I put the silver sticker, the clear sticker paper over that to make this just really nice solid silver. And then finally I've been using this holographic sticker paper, you can see how pretty that is, to make just these see-through ones with just the sticker paper and some laminating. And then this one has a little Simply Gilded sticker on it. So let me run through first of all the materials that I used to make my items. Please excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold, so I might be clearing my throat. So the first thing is laminator pouches. I happen to use these from Apache, and the reason why I bought this is because they were on Amazon and they're one of the only ones that are actually the 5mm, which is thicker than the 3mm, and I like the 5mm because of the thickness. It makes a much sturdier product in the end, which is really nice for the washi cards, but it's also nice if you're using it for dashboards or bookmarks. So this is a 9 by 11.5 inch pouch, and that will actually laminate an entire US letter size paper of 8.5 by 11. So if you have certificates or things that you want to laminate, these pouches will actually laminate that whole sheet in one piece. And then of course you're going to need a laminating machine. Mine just happens to be Apache, and no, I'm not affiliated with Apache. I just happen to buy these both from Amazon. And actually this model isn't even sold anymore. You would have to buy a newer model, which is actually kind of nicer looking than mine. I kind of want a new one. But basically how it is, you plug it in and then you turn on there's the power switch down here, and then the red power light goes on as soon as you turn it on to tell you, oh, okay, it's on. It's plugged in and on. And then once it warms up and is ready to start laminating, then this green light will kick on. So that's that. I've also heard, and I haven't tried it, but I've heard that this, I believe it's Scotch laminating machine that you can get at Walmart is really good. And in case you're worried that this stuff is really expensive, it's not. These laminators are like 20 bucks or less. The laminating pouches can get expensive. I mean, this is 100 count. I think I got it for about $15 to $20. You don't need 100, but once you get started, you're not going to want to stop. So maybe you can share with your friends, or you can get smaller packs at like Target or Walmart. But they usually are the smaller size pouches, so if you want to pick your own size, it's a little bit easier if you have the full sheet size laminating pouches. And if you're not familiar with the laminating pouch, it's got one sealed end. So you can see when I open it up, that end is joined, and then it's open on the other three sides. So one thing that works really well with these laminating pouches is making one of these do-it-yourself kind of pocket to run through your machine. And let me zoom out just a little bit. Oops, excuse that mess on the side of my desk. What this is just parchment paper. You can get it with the baking products at like your supermarket. And I just cut a piece and fold it in half. And what that's going to do is it's going to help keep your materials together while you run it through your machine, especially if you're doing, which you can also do is die cuts, little die cuts. If you do little things, they sometimes can get pulled back into the machine because they're so small, and if you use really thin paper and thin laminating pouches, it can get put back into the machine the wrong way and just get all smushed and stuck in there. And this pocket helps keep it from doing that. And it also keeps the two sides together, the top and the bottom, to keep them from separating. Because what happens is we're going to do our card, excuse me, like I would just use the bottom of the laminating pouch like this. This is the sealed end up here, and this is the open end. And then I'm just going to take my paper trimmer and cut around this area and feed that through my machine. But what is going to happen is going to be two loose sheets of laminating material. And when you put it through your machine, it can actually separate those two pieces and heat them up separately. And it's kind of a sticky inside when it gets heated up, and you don't want that inside your machine all over your rollers, because then it's not going to work properly after that. So when you have pieces, especially like that, where they're completely separate, you want to put them in this little pocket so that when you feed it through your machine, they stay together. And then if they do come a little bit separated, the parchment paper will handle the stickiness of the laminating material, and it won't ruin the inside of your machine. So that is all of that. And then of course you're going to need something to laminate. I have this card. This one is from Create with Pen that I got free with an order. And then these are the two different sticker papers that I'm working with. This first one is a holographic transparent glitter. It's a 12 by 12 sheet. This comes in a 5 sheet pack from Style Tech Turner Moore edition. Oh, sorry. Style Tech Turner Moore edition. I got this on Amazon, and I'll have the links to everything for you. But this is a little piece cut down. And so, oh, sorry. And then this is the other thing, which is a holographic sticker paper. This one is from Hobby Lobby. I believe someone said that it's their Hobby Lobby brand of paper, so you can't find it anywhere else, but you might be able to find something comparable. The thing you want to look for, though, is that when you peel this up, it is actually see-through. Because what you're going to want to do is put this over things, like I would want to put this over the top of my card, and you want to be able to see through it. So that's from Hobby Lobby. You can also get it on hobbylobby.com, which is what I did because we don't have any Hobby Lobbies here in Hawaii. So basically what you do is you get your piece that you're going to be working with, and then you're going to cut your sticker papers. I like to cut them just a little bit larger. Here you can see, like, actually let me put it this way. You can see that margin all the way around. Not a whole lot, just a little bit, in case you put it on a little crooked. You're still going to cover the whole card, and you're not going to have to waste it, because if you put it on crooked and it doesn't cover the whole card, and then you try to put like maybe a little piece to cover up that part you missed, you're going to see the line, and it's not the best. I mean, you might not mind it, but I wouldn't do that. So for me, this would be all wasted. So basically what you're going to do is you just start the sticker paper, get one corner loose, and then I actually fold back the waxy backing. Then I'm going to line it up, and I'm doing the silver on the back. You're going to line it up with that card, making sure that it's kind of centered and perfectly straight and all of that. And you're not going to push down that corner to stick it down until you're sure that it's where you want it. And then you go ahead and stick down that corner, and that's going to help with your placement for the rest of the paper. Then what you do is you turn it over and you get that little corner that you folded over, and you're going to start pulling it on the back to release the adhesive backing, not the adhesive backing, the waxy backing from the adhesive side. And then at the same time, you're going to be rubbing your finger, or if you have a bone folder or a credit card or something else like that, you can use that to follow as you're pulling that backing off, to make sure that you're not getting air bubbles in there. Sorry, I know this is a little hard to see. So you just keep, and then you can kind of guide the paper, the sticker paper, if you see it's going a little bit crooked, you can sort of guide it into place. And just take your time. This is not a race. It's going to get done, and the nicer you do it, the happier you will be with your end product. So you just keep going. Sorry, I don't want to make you watch this forever, so I'm just going to kind of do it. But the most important thing about this process is you want to make sure you're flattening it really well so that you're not getting air bubbles, because they'll show. Because this is clear, you will see the air bubbles under there. So there we go, and you can see how it's all covered. I have a little bit of excess on there. And then you have options now. You can either cut off the excess now, or you can cover the front with the other paper and then cut off the excess then. But I actually like to cut it off right now, because if I get my craft knife and I run it against that edge of the card, I actually don't need a ruler, because it's enough height on that card to keep the craft knife from cutting crooked. So normally I would cut with my craft knife now on all four sides, and then I would go ahead and do that same process on the front with the holographic sticker paper. I'm not going to take the time to do that now though. But once you get it all covered, then you're going to need to get your laminating pouch, and it's going to be the same thing. You want to cut it, and of course you're going to trim that holographic, the front part too. So you're just going to have your card left. So once you have that done, you're going to want to cut your laminating pouch to size, but the laminating pouch, you want to leave at least maybe a ½ an inch or a ¼ of an inch around the edges. You need space outside of the card for the laminating material to stick to itself. That's what keeps it shut. So you're going to need to leave a little bit of space outside of the whole card. And then I just use my paper trimmer and trim that around. And then of course you turn on your machine, wait for the green light to go on, and then you can put it inside your pocket, feed it through. Now once it comes out, it's going to be laminated, and let's just pretend that this is the one that just came out. It's going to have a little halo edge kind of around the whole card, because the laminating material cannot stick to itself right next to the thickness of the card. So what you can do though to help it be as thin as possible is you can feed it through your laminator again, and you don't need the pocket this time, although you can keep using it if you want. But it's going to stay together now because you already laminated it. But you can feed it through your machine on all four sides to make sure that it gets pressed down really firmly and straight, and it takes out as much of that halo as possible. And then once you do that, you let it cool, because when it comes out it's hot and a little bit floppy. So let it cool down and kind of solidify, and then I would take my paper trimmer and trim the edges. And remember, don't cut all the way up to the card, otherwise your laminating material will come open. So you have to leave a little border like I've left here. This, I guess that's like 1/4 of an inch. So you probably want to leave a 1/2 inch or so when you're cutting your laminating material, because you want to have leeway to be able to trim this down but still have that little edge to hold it all together. And then if you want, you can round the corners. I actually rounded the corners here. And what I used was this We Are Memory Keepers corner trumper, and I used the 1/8 inch setting because it's a really, really small corner. I didn't want a really drastic corner. And you can also corner round your card before you laminate it if you like that look better. And then just to let you know, this is the paper trimmer I use. It's Fiskars, and it handles 12 by 12 paper, and it has a little wire guide that shows you exactly where it's going to cut, and I really like that feature about it. So like I said, I'll link everything for you. That's basically, oh wait, sorry, I totally forgot. The last thing was this. So how do you do this one? For this one, I need a little bit of a different product. This is optional, by the way. I like to use this thing called Duralar, which is an acetate alternative, and it is heat resistant, which I feel is very important because you don't want to put just any kind of plastic through your laminating machine. It gets really hot and stuff could melt. But basically what I do is I just get one of these pieces of Duralar. You can see it has a nice weight to it, but it's not super thick. But I just cut that down to size. Cover it with the holographic paper from Hobby Lobby, and then I put it in a laminating pouch and laminate it. If you want to, you can put stickers or something inside before you laminate it, because that'll keep it from being rubbed off or scraped off or anything. This happens to be a Simply Gilded Bow. And that's basically it. You do the same thing as you did with the other ones, with the rounding the corners, the trimming, everything like that. And you get this really pretty see-through. This could be a bookmark or a washi card or dashboard or anything you want. So I hope that clears up basically how to do all of this stuff. But if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them as soon as I can. And if you make anything based off of this video, I'd love to see it, so leave me a link in the comments. And thank you very much for watching. See you later.